It's interesting times in the automotive space, and I'm thrilled to invite with me today a friend and colleague from the past, and we are re-energizing our working relationship. Mike Rother, welcome to Automotive Ventures, and we're going to use this video to introduce to the world Mike's joining Automotive Ventures to stand up and execute an automotive practice. So Mike, welcome, and it's really great to be working with you again.
Oh, same here, Steve. Thanks a lot. I'm super excited. I've been talking about this for a little while, so yeah, excited to be talking to everyone about what we're doing and what we're thinking. So looking forward to it.
Great. So let's talk a little bit. I think people have seen me all over social media, hopefully recently with the newsletter and Automotive Ventures, et cetera. But let's talk a little bit about your past. I think I met you actually 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, right. When I was overseeing the acquisition of Kelley Blue Book back at mid 2010, you were with Kelley, and you had an extraordinary career with Cox since that time. But why don't you give everybody who's tuning in a little bit of background about you, the 30-second or 66-second version of what you've done and what you've run over the past?
Thank you, Steve. I mean, I think back to when we met, and boy, the world was changing then, and it's certainly changing now. So my most recent role was running Dealer.com's business as the general manager and senior vice president within the organization. But how I got into automotive was about 20 years ago in a startup, and that startup was acquired by Kelley Blue Book back in 2004. Really around inventory, and this is back when we were talking to dealerships about needing a website, right? So all of those wonderful fun days, and since then I've had a bunch of different roles, ranging from product and technology into operations and general management of businesses, including Kelley Blue Book, HomeNet Automotive, Next Gear Capital, Dealer.com, and the like. So I love the range and variety that's come from each one of them, because they've all had, I think, dominant leadership positions, growth and scale, and an expertise in a strong swim lane. So it's been a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to working with you and bringing some of that to the marketplace and helping folks out.
Cool. Well, yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled that we're working together again. It's been a while. So let's talk about that, Mike. So, I mean, from your vantage point, you're looking around the whole landscape of automotive. There's been a lot of change last year. Right now, I mean, what are the three biggest needs right now from a consulting standpoint, and what's got you really excited about taking this role specifically now in your career?
Well, I think the first, and it's an obvious one, but what it has to be said is with with COVID and what's happened in our marketplace, buying vehicles online and the whole e-commerce movement or shift has really been significant. And so there's a lot of companies that are involved in playing in this space, but others where they feel maybe it's acting upon them, and there's need for help, for perspective, for a new way of thinking. From a vendor perspective, they might be looking to initiate strategic evolutions and changes, whether that's in partnerships or acquisitions. From a dealership perspective, though, there's a significant amount of operational change going on, where dealers are needing and wanting to think more differently about how they use technology with the people in running a more efficient business. So that's the number one big driver that I think we all know about. But it's the specifics and the tactics within that are, I think there's a need from a consulting perspective to bring a perspective or maybe a thought partner and a challenge to the table on where they've been going in the past. So what I'd also add to that from a consulting perspective is around investment. This is a time of evolution and innovation and significant change and transformation. So you have, a range. We've been working with private equity and venture capital firms that have got plenty of capital, want to exercise that capital or deploy it, and are trying to think about where are the best targets or partnerships and investments to make to complement their portfolio and best position for all this change that we're seeing and talking about. But the other one inside of the capital is there's also, and you know this, there's a ton of entrepreneurs out there that are have a great product and a great vision, and starting out and know their strength in their swim lane, and thinking about how they take their product to market in the right way, a go-to-market strategy that works, the right partners or investors in the industry, And that's, I think really where I get excited, because I can blend my product and technology passion and background with, what it means and what it feels like to run a business from startup to scale, if you will.